What's up everybody, Night Making here. Today I'll be making a tier list of Unmatched. Not competitive tier list, no how fun certain fighters are tier list for me, but a tier list of classes and archetypes which I think certain characters belong to. You know, if you are playing Unmatched like regularly for like more than once a week fun day, fun game night or whatever, you probably know this picture which depicts the all four classes we currently have in Unmatched, or at least it's standardized that way. Like aggression, might, value, fatigue. I decided to change it a little and add a little from myself, like OTK, combo, big hits. What are those I explain in a second, but for now let's focus on those, what they mean and what this video will be about. Because I'm trying to categorize all of those bad boys, because we got so many of them nowadays that it should be alright to just put them in different categories based on their playstyles, because they are very different. I think we have to agree on that. And yeah, and we'll be ranking them, putting them in the certain categories depending on what are they based around, what are they win condition, and all of that thing. I will try to make it short, however I doubt that I will be able to do that, and probably it will turns out to be the 1 or 2 hour long video. Also, I think I have to just tell you that right from the bat. I'm not a casual diced Unmatched player. I played all of those fighters except the ones from Bruce Lee to Crank, because those characters are not released in Europe yet, so I wasn't able to test them, and I don't want to base my opinion around other people's tier list or their videos. I just want to take them and test them myself, so I can give you my opinion and not opinion based on others' opinions. Yeah, so I have probably like 20 plus games minimum on every of those guys, so I think I know what I will be talking about. And the most important thing here is the win condition, because win condition actually is telling you what the certain fighter is doing to win the game, what are their, you know, what type of deck are you playing. Because basically what we are doing here is putting them in different deck categories. Abilities are helping with that, but I think deck is the most important thing nowadays. And you can change like 3 cards in every deck and it will be totally different. That's how, you know, detailed this game is when it comes to gameplay and everything. Yeah, but go. So I wanted to assure you that I know what I'm talking about. It's not like I made this video after playing every fighter like one time. I definitely spent a lot of time with this game for past 2 years, and I am still up to date pretty much. I don't play in tournaments though, so if you want a competitive tier list, I can make one in the future, but I don't feel like I'm the proper person to tell you this type of things. So maybe check out Karma's channel, Zero Skater's channel. Shout out to those guys, they're making a great job. But now, let's move to the basic like categories, archetypes of fighters. Aggression is a type of deck that wants to constantly pressure the opponent's hand and their health. Because if you are playing against aggressive fighter, you will constantly will be using cards to defend yourself. Aggression specifies in maneuver attack sometimes doing some other things like discarding or moving and action gaining. However, aggression is just the win condition is to pressure your opponent's hand so much that they will just run out of defenses and versatiles and they will just die. Might are huge numbers, so defending high and blocking high, like it's written here. You will win by just huge numbers of cards, and this category is, in my opinion, very like not well descripted, and I will split it in my tier list in some different categories, but we'll get to that. Then we've got value. Value is I'm pretty sure it's the control of Unmatched, because in other games you got the control decks that are using their tools to react to certain situation as well as they can to get the most value, like it's written here, by the interactions. So it's similar in Unmatched. You are not seeking aggression or, you know, big hits or whatever, you're still seeking those, but in proper times. But you're seeking for the control. You want to react to every opponent's like actions and play your best, get the best effects by countering them. And by countering them you'll eventually win, because they will run out of cards, of schemes and everything. And you can just win by healing, by card drawing, by discarding, all of those cool things that everybody likes, I'm pretty sure. Very fun type of, it's probably one of my favorites. However, I really like aggression. But yeah, fatigue. Fatigue is this type of heroes that rely on killing their opponent with fatigue damage, like Sherlock, Doctor Strange, Daredevil, maybe Winter Soldier. Basically, what you're doing is you're saving as much cards as possible, attacking as often as you can, to like not force yourself to draw a card, because if you will draw a card you are adding +1 to your basically a counter that eventually will run out and you will be taking a fatigue damage. And if you are playing a fatigue fighter, you get so many schemes that just bypass actions and even turns, that opponent will enter the fatigue damage earlier than you and you will win by that. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but those categories are the ones that are commonly used. I decided to shift this a little. I added some of my own. Control is basically the value game, but I just changed the title because I think Control is the more commonly used in all of those card games. You know, what are you playing? I'm playing a control deck. What are you playing? I'm playing an aggressive deck, aggro deck. So yeah, those two we already discussed. Fatigue we already discussed. So now let's move to all of those other categories that I added. All of those are I was taking from the other card games. You know, like Hearthstone, for example. Those types of decks are very common in those games. Big Hits I think is exclusive, but yeah. So what's OTK? OTK is a type of deck which translates to one turn kill. In Unmatched you are not able to do the one turn kills. I mean, you are able to do this with someone like Houdini or Genie, but I wanted to classify all of those fighters that rely on certain card-like combination to kill the opponent. For example, like Dracula is seeking for his beast form lethal, or Jekyll is seeking for his forever Hyde lethal. Those types of fighters will belong here. They are just searching for their key cards to use them then on one turn to just kill the opponent or reduce their health to half of or below half HP. Yep, I think that's pretty well explained. Mid-range is very fun type of decks. It's basically a control and aggro that is switching like that between roles. If opponent is aggroing you down, you as mid-range can answer this by just control, because you also have tools to control, but you also have a tools to aggro them later. So if if opponent will run out of offensive cards, you can just switch into aggro, because now they will be in position that they are playing control, but they cannot play control because they are aggressive decks. So like Chupacabra, for example, here. He is very aggressive and he eventually can run out of fuel, so then you can aggro him down, and he is not able to switch like you into control because he is not built to that. So you can just punish him. So that's mid-range. And for example, if you are playing against fatigue fighters or OTK fighters, you can switch into aggro early when they are searching for their combo or cards that they are able to fatigue you down, and you are just aggro them down. And later, if if you didn't already kill them, you can switch into control if they are performing their combo on you. Then yeah, you just switch to control if you're still alive, of course. So yeah, mid-range is something between control. It's basically aggro and control, but you can switch between those two. Like great example I think is Tomoe. Yeah, pretty sure. Or Bigfoot. Big Hits. Big Hits is a type of hero that is hitting you constantly with cards that have high values, yes. So for example, if you'll be smacking the opponent with 6 plus damage, 5 plus damage is enough, I think. Constantly, maybe not constantly, but pretty often, the opponent will be eventually dead because he will be blocking with like something like 3, 4, 5s are not that common. I have to tell you that 5s are not that common in this game, so the highest value will be probably 4 that he will be blocking with. So if you are hitting with 6, it's 2 damage. So this damage with big hits, 5 plus, will eventually add up and kill you. That's this type of heroes, and surprisingly a lot of them relies on it. It's not aggro because you don't care about opponent's hand, you just want to hit over their defenses. It's like you are hitting with undefendable damage, but it's not actually undefendable like in Little Threat case. It's more of the, you know, smacking hard and hoping for dealing damage. Combo is a type of aggro deck. Aggro deck is, like I mentioned, the deck that is just constantly pressuring the opponent and their hand size. Combo is the same, but they also rely on action gain, like Raptors, for example. You aggro your opponent down, but in the middle of all of those action, on those turns, you're adding the action gain cards. And if you're adding those, you're creating those little combos that will injure the opponent's hand even more, let me tell you that. Like, for example, Bullseye, this is a great example. You can shoot them with one card that will guarantee you getting a victory, so your effects are now working. You can then hit them with action gain, with the for my next trick, I'm pretty sure, this card, and then you get action gain, so you get to attack again. And basically what you do is you hit them 3 times and they wasted 3 cards on you, so that's pretty great. It's like half of their hand gone, and if you're playing against control fighters, that's pretty menacing against them, because they don't like to use cards if they're in their value games, but they have to because they're scared. Also, combo decks don't really have to hit you for that hard, like big hits. it's basically an aggro deck that can even hit you constantly with 2s and 3s and still get a win because they're just chipping away your cards and then your health. Yeah, I think pretty sure. So now we can get to the actual tier list, the fun part. There will be a timestamps in the description, so if you are just curious about one fighter, like for example Annie Christmas, you can just click there and yeah, check your hero, your favorite hero. I am deciding to not rush in it pretty much. I want to give pretty fair explanation on every fighter that I own and why I consider them being where they belong. If you don't agree with some of those, please write this in the comments. I'm really curious about your opinions also. That's also why I'm making this video pretty much. I want to know others' opinions about this. It's more of the discussion pretty much video than just actually like something valid and serious. And I don't want to start with King Arthur because it's a very strange case. And if that's the first fighter you'll be seeing in this tier list, it will be weird. So I started Medusa. And Medusa is control. Why so? First of all, you have good stats. 15 health, 3 harpies, so 3 sidekicks. Ability is very universal. You can use it to clear up the opponent's sidekicks. You can clear up the more health sidekicks easier. It's chipping away the opponent's health, so it's pretty punishing to be in Medusa's zone and try to attack her. For example, if you try to aggro her, you will be very upset because one, you have to go through her harpies that are probably in her zone, so you will be losing health. And waste your cards on them, and then you will be hitting Medusa, so you will be losing health by fighting her, and hitting her is also very punishing because she has discards on defense and card draw on defense, so very good value game. And you can also trap the opponent with card piece, like for example you can play on Hell's Kitchen. You can place Medusa on the rooftops and surround the opponent down below with the harpies, so he's not able to escape now, and he will be constantly like pinged away, so we will be chipping away his health for free, and he will try to run away by killing the harpies. And guess what? Harpies defenses are absolutely bonkers. 3 value that discards cards, so you're losing 2 cards by hitting the harpy, and she might not even die. And 4 value block that moves all of her harpies, so if you kill one and your wall basically collapses, you can just move all of them and regroup somewhere else and surround the opponent maybe once again. Crazy stuff. Very good control tools. You can revive them also. You're not also having the good blocks. Blocks are decent, you get a lot of versatile, so you're pretty universal, and that's why you're seeking when you're playing control. You got movement, you got card draw, you got discards on defenses. Your values are not exactly that high, but they're menacing. Opponent has also this is crazy. This is crazy, guys. This character should not exist. Your opponent has to block basically every turn with more than one, because he will be scared of Gaze of Stone, and Gaze of Stone can one-shot the opponent. It deals 2 damage, and if you won the combat it deals 8, I'm pretty sure, additional damage, so it's like, okay, you're dead. And it adds to her value game. Pretty sure she's control, the finest. There are more aspects to her, but I don't want to sit on her for too long, so let's like jump to another hero. Alice. Alice is big smacking, big hitting, whatever you wanna call it. She is smacking asses all over the place. Bro, did you see this free blind boost +2 attack? Max M4 or whatever. You can get up to 9 damage with this, because you get the value of card is free, then +2 firm ability, and possibly +4 from your boost values, and you have pretty high boost value, so it's 9 damage. I don't know, however you wanna call it, that's pretty impressive in my opinion, and it's even if you are like, oh, but she's not that great. Hitting your opponent with 9 value is very deadly for characters with 14 health, and that's I think the standard nowadays. Like a lot of fighters have 14 health, so somewhere like that, and she is just smacking 9s. Jabberwock is also pretty good against heroes. 2 5s against heroes and 2 universal, basically 6s, 2 6s universally. You can just don't give a shit. I'm sorry for swearing, but yeah, I sometimes have to like give my words some impact. You don't have to like give a crap about your +1 defense because you are not a control fighter. You want to smack them. Maybe in the past she could be a control, but nowadays you just don't care. You use your skirmishes with +2, you use your momentous shifts with +2 to make them 7s. Bro, that's crazy. You're just smacking so hard. It's so good. Everybody loves Alice. And I also love Alice. Sinbad is aggro. You pretty cooked in the early game, but the more cards you draw, the more times you hit with your trader, the 3 red that draw cards. The more cards you draw and more verges you discard. So now you move faster and now you hit faster. Yeah, you hit faster and you also smack harder. And you don't only rely on voyages, you also can just smack them with something like momentous shift. They will never run out from you. So you will always catch to them with your movement. Basically, if you are on 2 voyages in this card, it's guaranteed to run to them. So you can always maneuver, attack. You don't have action games on everything. They are just running after them and smacking them. And that's pretty effective. That's pretty effective aggro playstyle. Very effective. You have a lot of card draw, which means you will be refilling your aggro things pretty often. You can also hit them with leapaways or with this 4 value draw a card versatile. You get a lot of versatiles also, so you will never suffer from not defending. Yeah, Sinbad is pretty good at aggro. He is especially good nowadays because a lot of fighters can just not survive his pressure. Like, for example, if you are playing Blackbeard, it's pretty deadly to go against Sinbad because he doesn't care about your Sea Dogs. He can just hit them, kill them eventually because Blackbeard's defenses are not that common. You will run out of them pretty fast, and you can just rush him. He will just not survive the pressure, and I think it's very lore accurate, pretty lore accurate or whatever, or whatever matchup. Okay, next one is King Arthur. It's OTK, and let me explain. His win condition is to kill the opponent with 9 value Excalibur, and you have to do this 2 times. And then you can just find 2 pink damage from Merlin, this one scheme card, and your win. What are you searching for? You are searching for the Master of the Wind or Command the Storms. Command the Storms, I believe, was the name. The Merlin scheme that allows you to move everybody by 3 spaces. So you can put King Arthur very close to the opponent. You're moving the opponent, you're moving the King Arthur close to them, and then you smack them with 6 value plus 3 Excalibur. So we also need to find the Excalibur and the Noble Sacrifice. And opponent is not able to cancel it because King Arthur got buffed to that. Now we are not able to cancel Excalibur. So it's always nice value hit. Excuse me. And that's pretty scary, because even 5 value card will not block full of that. You have to block with something that, you know, reduce the opponent's damage to 1. So for example, Pandora's has something like that. There's, you know, this blue card that reduces the opponent's card to 0. So we have to block with something like that, but like only 10% of roster or even less have something that like that equipped in their decks. So that's a problem. And you get to do this 2 times because you're also searching for Lady of the Lake. So basically your OTK is Excalibur, Lady of the Lake, Command the Storms, X2, and Noble Sacrifice X2. You don't have to do this in one turn, but believe me, one Excalibur will lower the opponent's health by 5. So if they, maybe not 5, maybe 4. I think it's 5. I think it's, you can say 5 because 4 is the most common block that we'll be using against boosted Excalibur. You can also bait this attack by playing, I don't know, Skirmish plus the something else like boost value 2, and they will just play some high block because they will be like, oh, it will be the Excalibur, 9 value Excalibur, and now you just discarded one of their high defenses. And you're happy, you can play your other OTK things. So we are doing Excalibur thing 2 times, and now they are like on very low health. They are 14, I'm pretty sure now they are like 4. So you can just finish them with boosted skirmishes, momentous shifts with Merlin, some other of your cards, and the Merlin scheme that deals 2 damage. I think you are able to be OTK also because you have big health bar. So opponent will not kill you that fast. Your defenses suck so much, but your health will help you, and Merlin will also help you. You have a lot of card draw, so it is easier for you to find your lethal with the. So it's easier for you to find the lethal. So this card draw will definitely help you, and your big health bar. And also, if you're asking, you're not able to play control or mid-range or aggro. The only thing I see is big hits, because Excalibur is hitting hard, momentous shifts can also hit hard, but even Alice is outperforming you in this category, so he would be here, but it's not like you are winning by that. Your win condition, your best way of winning is to just do this OTK that I just explained to you, and it will be your way to win. And yeah, that's King Arthur. I see a lot of people not agreeing with that, but yeah, I would like to discuss about this. And also, I explained why I think that way. Okay, next one, Robin. Robin is an aggro hero. His main objective is to go for the highway robbery bait aggro playstyle, because highway robbery is basically your main ability nowadays. Highway robbery baits are overall so deadly to the opponent that he will be constantly freak out of your outlaws, and if you will be baiting highway robberies with something like wily fighting or ambush, they will just lose it. And with Robin, it's also this aspect. You have your block sucks, your health sucks, but you will kill them before they will even get to you. That's your main objective. You want to draw as many cards as possible. That's why you're great at aggro. It's easier for you to find highway robbery. It's easier for you to find 5 value shots. I don't remember the name, but marksman. I think this marksman is the name. And yeah, you are just maneuvering, attacking, and backing off with your ability. Wait a second. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, that's the playstyle here. You want to maneuver, hit them maybe with Robin from range and draw cards. for your outlaws. Or sometimes you want to go with outlaws and hit them, and they will be thinking it's high robbery, and haha, turns out it's wily fighting, and now they, tanked 4 hits to the face. Pretty great aggro. I think it's better than Sinbad aggro. I am not categorizing those fighters, in single of those categories by who is more meta. It's just who has more aggro potential, and I think Robin is overall more aggro, more aggressive. And Sinbad is more straightforward, but Robin is just more deadly when it comes to his aggro. Bigfoot is our first mid-range. And that's because his values are very high, his basic stats are pretty high. You have 16 health, sidekick, 6 health, 3 movement, already pretty well. 5 passes. I think 5 passes, yeah. You also have the very high value cards. Like you are a 4 Bonanza, you have how much? 10 fours? I don't remember. I didn't count that. Never counted that. But yeah, you are a 4 Bonanza. You can just smack them with force if they are just. Let's say it like that. Your first phase, like Elektra has 2 phases, the resurrected and not resurrected Elektra. Bigfoot also has something like that. You have the Jackal phase and Bigfoot phase, because in the early game, if opponent is weak enough, you can just send Jackal up and he will just kill the opponent. He has 6 auto damage, so that's pretty great. You're already lowering the opponent's health. You have 5 passes, so you can you can say that he's somewhat of fatigue even, if he wants to. He has momentous shifts, so Jackalope can just go and hit with 5s and 4s, because he also is able to play almost everything that Bigfoot is able to do. You smack them with 4s, with 6 as Bigfoot. Bigfoot is drawing cards for Jackalope because he doesn't even need to be in his zone. Overall, it's a mess. It's pretty messy because his values are very high, and that's why he's good at basically everyone. That's why he's mid-range. Because look, if you're playing against aggro deck like Sinbad and you have to back off, in the early game, when Sinbad is weaker, you can just go in and be basically an aggro hero, because Sinbad is weaker in early game and he's not like very aggressive then, so we can just go in and smack him with 5s, 4s and 6s, and he might lose like half an health, even more, because those values are very high. And later in the game you can just sit on your 4s and 5 feints, because you have not 5 feints but 5 cancels, because you have 3 feints and 2 free value cancels, so he will not get voyages on you, and you are just winning by nearly you're aggressing him, and later you can just back off and wait until he will just kill himself with card draw. Yeah, Bigfoot is pretty good mid-range. Because of his high stats, he can adapt pretty easily. He can be control, he can be fatigue. I think he can be fatigue. You don't need to use your ability. OTK I don't see. Mid-range, yeah, his definition on mid-range. Big hits, you have 6 value locks, 3 of them. And basically, you also have like 3, possibly 5 value cards with your, this Bigfoot for value red card that deals auto damage. So it's basically a 5. Combo not able, you don't have action gains and aggro. Yeah, you are pretty good in being an aggro deck. Bigfoot is overall very versatile. If you are playing him, he is simple, he has simple deck, but it's more complex to just adapt to an opponent. And if you will know how to adapt, he is one of the best like mid-ranges because of those high stats. Maldon. Maldon is control. You are building your little bunker in a corner of the map, and you are waiting for opponent to just be stuck on in your bunker. And if you are playing someone like Beowulf, Geralt, Luke Cage, you can just disconnect because you will never get through your bunker. They will never get through your bunker. You also can do a little stuck actions like Medusa, but now it's even more deadlier because you're not only trapping them with your free dudes, you're also trapping them with traps, and it's very fun for you, not fun for the opponent. It's not fun for the opponent for sure. So yeah, the only problem with Maldon is that you are a control maniac, but your deck is pretty weak. Your highest values are 4s, like 4 blues, 4 versatiles, and 4 reds. That can go higher, but it's not that often, and opponent will counter this pretty easily. He's not better controlled than Medusa. He is just better at controlling the battlefield. He can just sit in the corner like I mentioned and just constantly like pushing you off with rending shots. The opponent will be constantly trying to get through your castle, and you will be like, don't come to my castle, and shoot him with rending shots and back him off. Call for backup is stupid, and it's like you're refilling your whole control set because you can draw cards, you can revive your soldiers, and you can place 3 traps or 2 traps. I think it's 3 traps. So it's like the tool that is telling you, here, you can just refill everything, man. No problem. Yeah, Maldon is pretty good. And he is pretty good control hero. But he's also very difficult. Like, man, you have to always like figure out how to deal them damage with your A traps, because then you will be lacking damage, like really lacking damage. Let me tell you that he is very difficult, but if you will master him, you will be having a blast, and then he will just jump like here. You can also place him even here if you know how to play him, because he's so good at aggroing the opponent down. If you know how to do that, because his values are low, but your traps will win you the game if you're a master of Maldon. Raptors are combo. The first combo hero, because your playstyle is just to get the perfect opener with figuring things out. So this yellow card that allows you to jump the opponent first turn, surround him, and then go for the red attack. Red attack may be action gain in the middle, and it's basically an aggroing them down by but you're adding the action gain. Actually, a lot of action gains. You have ton of action gains. You have 2 clever girls or 3 clever girls, and you have 3 of those 2 value gain and action cards that can become even a 4, because Raptors are adding damage if they're surrounding the opponent. And yeah, that's pretty deadly to the opponent's hand. If they're playing, I think control fighters can still like counter it, especially those, because they have sidekicks, so Raptors are already countered. But if you're playing some other control fighter like Goldenbat is a good example. He doesn't have sidekicks, so Raptors can just surround him first turn, and he will be not able to escape them that easy. And that's the main like example where Raptors shine. If you have all those control heroes that have 1 sidekick, yeah, you also can just win with Raptors, because 1 sidekick is not a problem. Multi sidekicks are a problem. But yeah, this playstyle, you're just backing off as Raptors. If you did one of your action gain combo, then you are jumping in again after you refill your hand, and just doing this again, and eventually they will die. And if they will not die, then you just screw up, buddy. You screw up. Yeah, gameplay is pretty easy and also pretty fun. Dracula is the OTK. He is even more complex in this OTK like field of playstyle because you're relying on Beast from Lethal, which is much harder to set up than King's Arthur Excalibur Lethal. You are searching for beast form. You need to have like tons of cards to boost it enough to it to be dangerous. Then you need the mist form, the scheme that allows you to jump to opponent and gain an action. You need something to base, so the best case scenario is ambush. And then if opponent is hitting you constantly, you need to do my bidding, because then you can just look at their hand and discard their feint or some high value block and just jump in next turn to them. You're jumping in, let's say seven cards in hand. You used Mist form, so 1 card left, you have 6. Beast form is your next card, so now we have 5 cards in hand. In the middle you are able to draw a card, so now we have 6 cards in hand, and you're hitting them for 12. And that's pretty impressive. You can do this 2 times. The problem and then you can finish them up. If you didn't kill them with lethal, you can just finish them with pings, because you get the scheme cards that deal pretty decent ping damage. Like your sister's ping, I don't remember the name, but the sister scheme. You get 3 copies of this, so if you are playing your sisters efficiently, you can deal 9 damage with this. So even if they are on something like 8-7 health after your beast form lethal, you can still finish them up. Yeah, Dracula is pretty good. In the past you were able to play something like mid-range Dracula, I'm pretty sure. But as you can see, fighters then were a little bit different, a little bit easier to counter and everything, so Dracula was able to be the mid-range or control or fatigue even, but nowadays it's just not a thing. You rely on Beast from Lethal, and that's why he's in OTK. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde is also an OTK hero, and why I will explain it like right now. It's similar case to King Arthur, because it's weird when you're looking at that, but then you analyze your playstyle and you actually find out that, yeah, what am I doing is I'm searching for cards to hit very high so my opponent will die. You also have a finishers with your ping damage, like Strange Case and this yellow card that allows you to jump and hit 2 damage where you will land. And that's one part of your OTK even. You search for this one scheme that I mentioned that allows you to jump. Then you are searching for Forever Hyde and for ton of Jekyll cards. The perfect card to discard on Forever Hyde is this trash garbage card, 2 value versatile that allows you to switch to Hyde or something. This card is so bad that you feel very happy discarding it for this, because then it actually has a use then. And without it, it's very garbage. Other Jekyll cards are also pretty great for it, like I would say the blue 2 that draws you cards is very good, so you are not boosting the Forever Hyde with this. Or if you will, then you probably are finishing out the opponent. And bandage or this blue 4, yeah, you can boost with them, but remember you have to survive to that point. And again, like King Arthur, you have huge health bar, so it will be easier to find this combo. You have some healing in your deck, to be exact. You have 4 healing, and yeah, I'm not counting the bandages because bandages are optional. Sometimes they are possible, but for the most part not. The problem is you don't have card draw except your blue 2 on Jekyll that I said you should not boost forever Hyde with. It's like you are playing a Genie, but it's very, very, very like bad method of doing that. You don't have card draw, so you will not find your OTK that easy like those two guys. You have like your deck is split in half, so sometimes you will just draw Hyde cards and opponent will kill you. Also, I didn't mention that, but I think it's pretty important. You need to bait the forever Hyde because they will be sitting on those feints like crazy, and if you will jump on them like eventually after like 5 turns, they will just feint it, and if you will not bait this feint, you will just lose forever Hyde, like dealing 3 damage. Okay, but what now? So we have to hit them with this other 5 value Hyde card, or you can even hit with this 6 value versatile. This card is awesome, by the way. I am loving this. It's the best card in his deck. So yeah, it's also an OTK, forever high OTK that I explained to you, but it's probably one of the worst OTK in the game, and you can try to play him mid-range, but even if you're playing him mid-range, you're still like siding yourself a little to play the OTK. Not even a little, you are strongly trying to do the OTK, even as mid-range. You can say you can be control OTK, but what's the point? You are just surviving to get the OTK. It's not like you're playing control. You don't have a tools like those guys to win in control. You are just surviving to do the OTK. You can't aggro down the opponent because you will be losing health with your ability as Hyde. Yeah, he is problematic, but his OTK is pretty bonkers, and if you will hit with Forever Hyde and boost it even with 2 cards, it's 9 damage. With 3 cards, it's absolutely crazy, it's 11 damage, and 11 plus damage, which is not that unlikely, is just execution, public execution. You are just chopping their head with this Jekyll's axe that he has on the mini. Yeah, that's the scenario. Invisible Man, but okay, but you know, he is the worst OTK, but still OTK. Invisible Man is a fatigue fighter. The worst OTK. No, sorry, English bad, English hard. Fatigue fighter. Invisible Man is a fatigue fighter, probably the worst fatigue fighter in the game currently, and that's because he was designed around being a fatigue fighter back then. What are you doing is you are traveling through your fog tokens, so you get good mobility to run away. You get nice defense on your fog tokens, but it's nothing special. You are just surviving to get to the fatigue level. And then you get like 10 auto damage with your schemes. And your schemes are the main like thing. Why are you like at favor at fatigue? That's what I'm trying to say. What makes you not in favor in fatigue nowadays is card draw. Guys, I don't know why is he having so much of this card draw. What's the point? I know that in the past it was to balance him out because they probably figured out that yeah, against all of those guys, he will be crazy if he would be able to just run away and win the game playing passes and wasting the opponent cards for making him to boost to him. So they just give him this little disadvantage of drawing cards. But I don't know. I think it's too punishing. It's very uncomfortable to play him nowadays and trying to go for fatigue. And it's your only option because yeah, you have 10 auto damage in your passes, but they're pretty hard to, pretty difficult to, put them out. Like this free auto damage thing, a lot of people will just dodge it, and you will not be able to play it. Or you have to combo it with something else, like this another scheme that gives you fog token. What else is your deck is very very underleveled. You got power crept so much. The stats on your cards, the highest value of your blocks is 4 and that's bonkers, but all of them has something that like punish you. Like why even giving your opponent an option to move the fox? I never know why it's a thing, but okay, I guess it's to balance him out, but it was to balance him out. But nowadays it's just weird, and he can just be very very like destroyed by it if opponent knows how to just mess up your fox. It's very punishing, like very punishing. But still, you're able to play fatigue, and if you are a big brain mastermind of the game, you can still win as him. But I would, if you want to go for more competitive play and just choose some fatigue fighter, you know what to do. Doctor Strange, Sherlock. Oh shit. Oh, yeah, now that's great. Maybe even Daredevil, but not Invisible Man. If you want to have fun and you are looking at this video and just be like, oh, I love fatigue decks in some other game, I want to play a fatigue game in Unmatched. Yeah, Invisible Man is pretty fun. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty satisfying to just, deal 10 damage with schemes and then constantly trying to hit your opponent with those 5s or 3s. This free value escape card is pretty like lit though, in my opinion. It's very great because you can just get to the opponent or they're just close to you. You hit them and just run away. It's pretty good, pretty great at kiting and baiting your opponent and making them angry. But yeah, he's good fatigue, but probably the worst fatigue. Sherlock is the best fatigue in the game, next to the Doctor Strange. What can I say? If you played Unmatched for like, I don't know, a month, you probably know that Sherlock is just absolutely stupid. The thing is, he can bypass the entire turn, so 2 actions, by playing his 2 combo scheme. Look at the opponent's head and then call their card value, and they have to discard it and get the damage of the boost. So they can play it in the way that, they will discard your 4 value card that has 1 boost value, and then call other card that has 4 value, and then this card has the 4 value boost value. So the opponent is taking 4 damage, and Sherlock haven't even lose one card on it. He just play or draw 1 card for it. He just play it like that, and he can do this 2 times. You get 3 copies of this called the value card, so we can play one for memes. But if you play more like seriously, the decks. If you're playing, for example, against Robin, you can just say 5, and you have very high chance of Robin having this 5 and just getting 4 damage. His playstyle of running away is also pretty busted because he's very tanky, 16 health, 8 value, 8 health Watson that heals you for 4, so 20 health. Yeah, very good blocks. Counter punch is very good and defensive playstyle. This free value blue block, thing is crazy because you get to just cancel everything on them, and that's unfair. I hate this thing. Everybody hates Sherlock, but it needs to be said. And also you rely on your 5 value cards because Watson can shoot, so if he will be shooting you, he will be using cards. Which means you will be not drawing cards and you will enter fatigue later. And all of those auto damage things of Sherlock makes you being more susceptible to fatigue, because if you enter this fatigue, you will be already injured by his all pink damage, and fatigue will finish you very, very quick, and he will not die to fatigue that easy because he has 16 health that it's not even that hard to maintain for the whole game. Yeah, he is just stupid. Killing Watson is already an achievement, but making his damage, chopping through this huge health bar is a chore, and I hate it. He is so good at fatigue. He will just block and pass. Buffy. Buffy is mid-range. Why so? It's similar to Bigfoot pretty much. She has, I think, 3 skirmishes, 3 Slayer strengths that are just awesome because they will be able to clear the sidekicks very easy. I love this card. Slayer Strength is one of the most satisfying card in the whole game, or whatever the name. The 4 value versatile Buffy exclusive that just pushes back the sidekicks and opponents and deal them damage. So satisfying, so thematic. She has regeneration also, which is basically a 4 value block, and you get to side deck. So at the beginning of the game you get to choose Giles of Xander. If you choose Giles, it's more of the look at the opponent's hand and hit them with some undefended Mr. Pointy or something like that. And you also have card draw, so you can be a little aggressive, but depending on the playstyle, that's what you're mid-range. You get to adapt who are you playing against. If you are picking Xander, you get 5 offensive cards, 2 6s and 3 4s, then draw cards. So 4 value draw card is awesome as Xander, because you are basically replacing your 4 value attack with something else, and this 4 value attack probably dealt at least 1 damage, so pretty great. You have 3 value movement, 13 or 12 health. That's not great, that's why you are a bit weird to pick against a lot of fighters. You can also move through opposing fighters, which is just awesome, wonderful. You don't have passes if you didn't pick Giles, so if you want to go for Fatigue Buffy, which I don't know how it would even work, but I guess I saw people even playing like that on my, tournaments here with my friends and all. But don't try this. Yeah, you just got a very decent stats, and that's all that goes for you. And also moving through sidekicks is more and more useful, so I can see her being picked somewhere, but nah, it also regroups. That goes for all the Buffys. Buffys are basically a regroup masters. If you're playing against all of them, you're always scared that, for example, if you're playing against Buffy, because we are discussing her, she may maneuver to you and hit you, and you are like, oh, it might be Mr. Pointy, so you block with 4 and turns out it's a regroup and she draws draw card and you just wasted your 4. And that's bad feeling. But yeah, Buffy set I think is very, very great and doing those type of messy things with regroups. But yeah, Buffy, pretty good. Pretty fun also. Pretty fine mid-range. You can block if you want. You can aggro down them with your force if you want. Pretty good. And you have a lot of versatiles. And free value cards that let you move. So you got a bit of everything to just adapt to the situation. Yeah. Angel is the worst aggro in the game, but his aggro is actually pretty cool. I'm loving his playstyle a little. First of all, 16 health, 8 health sidekick. Faith is absolute monster. She will just slay the absolute crap out of the opponent. 2 5 value attacks with her, and then she got like 3 passes that deals 6 auto damage like combined, which is just bonkers on the aggro character. Angel on his own has like 3 red 5 value cards, and then he has momentous shifts and force like savagery. The thing is with Angel, you got 16 health and Faith is absolute monster, but if she will die, you are pretty much dead. And your maneuver attack playstyle is, while pretty scary, it's not very effective. Because, I'm sorry, because you, of course, you got 5s with your red 5s and your momentous shifts, but your block sucks ass and your health bar will like go down surprisingly quickly. Like, it's not even funny. You will just lose this 16 health so fast, you will never be able to just rush down someone. Unless you are playing someone like against someone like Widow or another hero that has low health and you found the opener, then you just stand no chance. But yeah, his aggressive play style for some reason is very satisfying because you're just hitting the opponent with bare stats, and it's something like fun about this. Other things he is doing is card draw, and your whole turn is just maneuver boost attack, and that's the whole like gameplay plan, and that's surprisingly fun. Maybe because with a lot of those aggro fighters you know that you are having advantage by playing them aggressively, but with Angel you are on the back foot from the beginning and you have to figure out how to aggro properly, and that's pretty fun minigame. Also, it's pretty fun combo. You get, if they're close to you, you can just hit them with 5 and then hit them with savagery, so you basically deal 9 red damage and they block it like with some cards, and then you get to jump away so that they have to maneuver to you. It's pretty, like, it's not that impactful but cute. And another fun thing is that if you are hitting with regroup, you will always draw 2 cards because of your ability. And if you will yeah, basically always draw two cards regroup, so it's pretty great on him because you don't really have other card draw except this regroup thing. Spike is a control fighter. Your main plan and wire control is, first of all, your effects are actually good and your values are actually pretty high, but not high enough to call you mid-range, because you are not seeking aggression. You can seek aggression, you are seeking the control, and control is starting to shine up if you will able to surround the opponent with you and Dracula, which will probably never happen. But yeah, you are trying to surround them and put them on the fog token. Not fog token, shadow token. The most easiest way to do this is to put yourself in the beginning of the game in the middle of the map, and then just wait for the opponent to make a mistake by going into a space that is not connected to many other spaces, so you can just boost to them, surround them with Dracula and yourself, and then if they're on the shadow token, you can just do whatever you want to them, and they can just do nothing about them, because all of those Rush, Dance With Me, Bloody Hell are or the Drusillah's Insight, which is stupid. They are starting to work, and if you were able to do that, you won your control, and now you are in the god category. That is not here, but you are in the god category. That's why he is good in Test to Amaze, because the opponents, the monsters, will be staying on shadow tokens, and you can just bank them forever, and opponent will just run away. And this will never happen, but this is a little like mini game of trying to surround the opponent. Also, if Drusilla will die, you can just surrender, you can just disconnect, because you will be not able to win this game. But yeah, pretty much a control fighter. Find that his values are actually decent, like a lot of force there. You got leap aways, you got skirmishes, you got let's dance. He is pretty fun also, but his like main objective is like 10 out of 10 level of difficulty, and that's why he will probably the worst control. But yeah, you are trying to not really answer the opponent, but you are actually answering the opponent by just trapping them, because they will not get close to you, you know? That's why he's control, but not control you are thinking about. Yeah, it's tough. I can't put him anywhere else, because aggro he's not enough to do the aggro. I mean, if you will just be okay, I don't like give a crap about my shadow tokens, I can just slap you, he would be here, because force are still force. Yeah, but I don't see that. You will run out of cards, not run out of cards, but run out of the high value cards pretty like quick, and you don't have the angel like engine to basically generate this 5 value attacks. You have 4 value attacks that will probably not deal any damage, so that's why you are seeking out the place to surround the opponent and place shadow token on them. Willow is big hits. I love her big hits playstyle. It's so satisfying, man. If you're a Dark Willow, you are able to just deal 7 damage straight up with Fleet Away, or 6 damage with Black Magic. It's so good. You got the card called Hacker, which is very crucial to your game playstyle, because if you block with Hacker, 2 value versatile, you get to look at the top card of your deck, and you can just check out if there is a free value boost, and if there is, you just keep this card there, and if there is not a free value boost, you can just put this card at the bottom and hope for free value boost, and then you can just hit them with Fleet Away as Black Widow. Yeah, sorry, Dark Willow, and it will be 7 damage, which is impressive, very impressive. It's Ali's Momentous Shift. It's so good, and also you're ranged, so it's not like you have to be close to the opponent that he can just run away. Nah, you can just slap him from the other side of the board, which is very, very good. Big slapping Willow is the best playstyle, it's basically a gamble, and everyone like loves gambling a little, so this is the hero that give all of those people like very fun feelings. And also I have to add the Tara, your sidekick, is very beefy. She has 6 health, but you can revive her 2 times, and her blocks are she can basically block forever with the witchcraft or hit forever with the witchcraft. That is 4 value versatile, so it's good value. Good value. It will be hitting the opponent or blocking the opponent's hits very reliably. Also, you get this cross card, 3 value versatile, that cancels, and that's very good block or very good offensive tool. Yeah, it's very. She is very fun. She slaps very high and does her win condition to slap high. And I love Willow. She is definitely. If you don't own the Buffy set, you want to get this set for Willow alone, believe me. And I really recommend to get it before it will disappear forever, because it's out of print for like 5 years. I got it for very big money, but I am not like I am not feeling bad about this with myself. Little Red is mid-range, and she is probably here. Her effects are absolutely broken. She can adapt to many situations, to many playstyles by combining her cards in certain ways. She can be defensive, which is control. She can save up her cards, because if you are playing against fighter that is constantly hitting you, you can just do this little thing of playing the 4 healing 4 times, which is 16 health, because you will get it from your discard pile with hands. The 2 value red card. So, and you get it to do this 2 times, so it's 4x4, 16 healing. Yeah, pretty good control. You get to hit opponent back on your defense pretty easily, like with your 2 value versatile blade hit, the 3 value versatile, the 3 not 3 value versatile, 3 auto damage. Also, you got the blue 2 value card that deals damage back depending on the printed value of the opponent's card, which is like it's incredible in the control playstyle. You love cards like that. You also have jokers, baskets that allows you to choose whatever symbol you want on defense, and that's pretty scary if you play the basket first and then opponent is now scared of hitting you with high value attack, because you will just reflect it onto them. And also you can be an aggressive fighter, because Huntsman can go for big hits with his 6 value cards that he has 3 copies of, and that's dangerous. You can go aggressive with your this one card that I already mentioned, the 2 value versatile that deals 3 auto damage and has blades, and then you can chain it up with the 3 value versatile that goes through blocks and cancel effects and works when flowers are on the discard pile. This is pretty deadly. So basically you deal 3 damage, auto damage with your 2 versatile, and then you deal 3 bypass damage, which is basically auto damage again with your other card. And that makes you, I believe, that might be a little biased, but I think she is very high in aggro, probably like here, higher than Sinbad and Robin, if she goes for that playstyle. You can do everything with her. You can play control, you can play fatigue, yeah, no problem. And you will still be higher than Invisible Man. OTK is not possible, I think. At least I didn't find one. You may count the this one combo that I mentioned, you know, the free value auto and free value bypass block card. Mid-range, yeah. Big hits with Huntsman, yeah. Combo, no action gain, so nah. And aggro, yeah, for sure. I can see her being anywhere, but mid-range is the most accurate because yep, you can adapt. You can just adapt against a lot of fighter. Against like every fighter, you can just adapt and do whatever you want because you have so many tools. You can clear up sidekicks easy with your free choice scheme. You get to like chase all of those fighters with your another scheme that moves you and gives you action and also gives you symbols. You can cheat those yellow cards like so well into many matchups because you can just force your opponent to just make mistakes if he sees certain symbols because he will be thinking, okay, if that's a blades, I have to be scared of the auto damage, but it turns out it's a card draw or whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of things that is going for her. Beowulf is, in my opinion, also in mid-range, but probably the worst mid-range, even worse than Buffy. You can go even aggro Beowulf because his cards are very deadly, but they are not deadly enough to finish the game like OTKs. You have huge health bar, Wiglaf has huge health bar, your range mechanic is giving you some strong effects, not busted effects, because the only busted effect is Grendel, and this 8 value hitting red card, the sword. But other than that, I don't know. You can't be controlled because you don't have cards to be a control. He can be fatigue because his scheme cards are actually. He has this one scheme card that is discarding the opponent's card, random card, and he's getting range out of it. And I love this card. It's like he's aura farming on them. I am loving this card. It's very good. And because of this card and the other schemes, like even Wiglaf schemes, he is able to play a little fatiguey, and because of his huge health bar, but I just don't see it nowadays when fatigue fighters are doing just fatigue things by existing and not by forcing yourself to playing schemes and trying to be fatiguey. Nah, it doesn't work. He is also not hitting that hard, so he can be hit big hits. I think he's mid-range because he can adapt. If you see a hack character that is just struggling with aggro you down, and he will, in this character is, I don't know, waiting for you, searching for combo or fatigue, you can just go and punish them for that with your range attacks. You got force, you got this range card that becomes 5, you got the sword that can be 8. So yeah, you have some aggressive tools. You don't have a lot of blocks, that's why control is not a thing, unfortunately, and even those blocks, I'm pretty sure if you are talking skirmish, it's very tempting to use it on offense as Beowulf, because sometimes you just feel like I will not survive. If I will be blocking with it, I will just waste it, and I need to hit with it to even kill them. Because his damage is also very like got power crept a little. But yeah, playing him with his schemes is very like fun play style. Like even this scheme that gives you choices and you just picked the heal 2 choice and nothing else is pretty satisfying. I don't know. I just think it's satisfying to play those schemes and just being further from fatigue than your opponent. It's yeah. But I think Beowulf is just this basic character. If someone will ask me who is Beowulf, who is the like basic stats character of Unmatched, I would probably say Beowulf or Geralt. Those are giving me the main basic character vibes. Achilles. Achilles is, in my opinion, the best hard-hitting character in the game. Yeah, you're relying on killing the Patroclus, you have to kill him to even be able to smack opponent hard. But, like, let's be real, that's your win condition. Because if you will be stuck in this cycle of Patroclus is alive and I am just hitting the opponent with force and with this double attack 1-3, you will just not do anything. You are just not able to win. It's not dangerous enough. Patroclus cards, on the other hand, are very deadly in the early game. That's why you're searching for them. That's why you're searching for them. And the moment Patroclus dies, you are the hardest smacking character in the game. Because all your 4s become 6s, all your 3s becomes 5s, because everything becomes +2, even your double attack becomes 8, if you add up the damage. So that's crazy. And a lot of characters, like 19% of roster, will not survive this. They will just straight up not survive you. So you have to like kill Patroclus very early, and I would even go for overdrawing to just search for his scars or under Achilles' helmet to just kill him and then just smack the opponent. The moment he is dead, you are the hardest hitting character in the game, because no one can survive maneuver 6, maneuver 6, maneuver 6, maneuver 5, maneuver 8. No one can survive this. It's so juicy to just smack them with all of those cards that even for pure satisfaction you want to kill Patroclus early somehow. The execution is actually more difficult that I am explaining to you, but yeah, that's your win condition. Bloody Mary is aggro. I don't know if she's more aggro than Robin Hood though. And she is actually difficult to discuss, because I know that there are a lot of people that just love in Bloody Mary. She has a lot of cool aggro effects going for her, like for example all of those free action cards that you can chain up with the closer than she appears it's very predictable but very effective if you will just... Because the thing is, as Bloody Mary, you are constantly going in and hitting the opponent because you want to have 3 cards in hand. You have a lot of health, so you are not scared of being hit. And your main objective is to get to 3 cards in hand and also lower their hand size to very low amount. And even if you're on, you may think you are very vulnerable on the free hand, but cards like Evasion are helping you very much. They were designed for you. Same for Closer Than She Appears. And they feel weird in other decks like T-Rex and Black Panther deck. But yeah, all you are doing is trying to go for free action turn, because then you are actually becoming a combo character. Yeah, like straight up, you are becoming a combo character. That's how I think I will keep her here. And I don't know, you're just going and attacking and trying to like do this little puzzle of having 3 cards in hand, and the opponent is also trying to counter that like all the time. Like, because otherwise he will just tank so much damage that he might just lose so much cards and so much health. It's too risky to keep you at 3 cards in hand. She's very deadly at that point. And closer than she appears is boosting her up even higher. Hitting even, I would say, playing her and smacking the opponent with this 1 value attack and is also very satisfying because you are just baiting them and losing their defenses, and in the end that's the main objective or of the aggro and combo characters. Yeah, so I think she is combo because of this action gain on 3 hand size, but if not, if you are going for more like aggressive playstyle where you are not very focusing on your ability and you're relying more on closer than she appears and then speak 3 times or I don't know, jump scares, then you're aggro, and this is also very effective. Like jump scares and speak 3 times are very, very good attacks. Sun Wukong is control that is absolutely stupid, and oh my god, where do I even start? You are just a control maniac as Wukong. You can, if you want, you can just sit in the corner of the map with your clones surrounding you, and all of those melee matchups will just not win against you. You have better control than Medusa for sure. You have better control than Muldoon. Because you are not even going into the interaction with the player, with the other player. The player will go in the interaction with your clones, and you don't care about the clones. It's like you are sending your 1 health to do your things, to smack the opponent with 6, 7s, with action gains, with this 3 value card that go through defenses. I actually think if he is not mid-range, but I think there is you are not playing Wukong to be like full defensive, like in any scenario, because opponent is not interacting with you, they're interacting with clones. If they interact with you, you get like all of those stupid cards. The one that deals then damage back and you're taking none. This one that lets you to just warp to the other side of the board and not take damage. You got the turtle forms. Yeah. Also his deck is... He has huge health bar, like 17 damage, and you can heal it constantly. If you want to go for the healing playstyle, be my guest. You can just recure the Phoenix form 3 times and heal for absolute ton. Yeah, Wukong has like stupid tools on defense and on offense. There is nothing like... He doesn't have any bad card in his deck except the Sly Monkey, and even Sly Monkey is good because it can be used as boost. Like straight up. Like Wukong is just a monster. It's a control monster. If you are playing against Wukong, it's not like you are playing a game on your rules, you are playing on Wukong's rules. He will be like telling you what you are doing. Also, he can bait your attacks with Jingle Bongs, which is just absolutely stupid and disgusting. Why something like that even exists? I mean, it's fine minigame, but it's basically highway robbery on cracks, because now it turns from I deal 2 damage to you and you wasted your card to I deal you 7 damage, and because you thought it is a Jingle Bong. I mean... This is just... He is just a control maniac, and if you're sitting against a good Wukong player, even as range character or character that has a lot of ping damage, you will just suffer. You know, you will probably not win this game. But who is even better in control is Yennenga. Yennenga is also a control queen in this case. You have, first of all, you have absolute giant health bar, almost infinite, because if you want to go for defensive playstyle, you know, control playstyle, you're a control deck. You get to use your archers as your additional health, and if you know how to split the damage like efficiently, you will just absolutely tank a lot of hits from the opponent. You will waste a lot of his damage just by existing and playing your archers efficiently. Your free value double attacks are very deadly for your opponent, and they are wasting 2 of their cards, which is huge at control decks. You want them to waste the cards because then you have higher chance of surviving their like attacks. You have these cards, you have movement, you got big damage, which, if you know how to use, will just absolutely injure the opponent game plan. You will just, yeah, you know, clear their sidekicks, discard. They will be forced to discard a card, so less value, less aggression. What else? You have actually very high blocks that you can also use as offense if you want, but yeah, can also use as offense on defense. So the aggressive characters will just never get to you probably, and if they will, you will just revive archers or just block so high that they will not do anything. Your archers can also be deadly because they can hit momentous shifts, which is very good. 5 value hits are dangerous. Claw of the Beast, this one card, is very strong. Very good value, a lot of decision making about this one card alone, and if you know how to like maximize it to the best effect, it will win you the game. Action gains, you can use also, you also have action gains. If you want to draw more cards, why not? If you want to go for combo, why not? Also can do this. I don't know. I think Wukong is worse than her in control. He's definitely better than Medusa's, because the thing with Wukong is that his control is shutting down so many matchups, so many melee matchups, that it's just illegal. While Yennenga is not exactly shutting down all of those melee matchups, she just has better tools to deal with them. It's not like she's breaking them, she's dealing with them. And she is better into all of those fighters that are ranged. Like, if you're playing Wukong against someone like, I don't know, some good range fighters, even say Winter Soldier, then hiding behind Clone Wall is not that reliable, and you actually have to interact with the opponent as Wukong and Yennenga, and then the problems start to show up, the cracks. While Yennenga is fine with that. She was made to counter melee and range at the same level, I'm pretty sure. That's what I'm trying to say. She's just very good at everything except one thing. She doesn't have feints. That's why she's, and Wukong also doesn't have feints. All of them are very susceptible to all of those characters that rely on effects. Like, for example, Blackbeard, yeah, our pirate. If they will not like cancel his OTK, they are dead. But against many matchups, they are fine because their value game is so good. It's very good. They will be just ruling over the whole game. Yeah, very. I think this order is yeah, it's okay. Ghost Rider is another aggro fighter, and he is not a good one. You rely on the Hellfire and pink damage from your vrooming, because if you are vrooming, it's like you're chipping away their health, and as aggro fighter, this is the ability that you would kill for. But your vrooming is probably the only thing that is dangerous about you, and that's why this is problematic. You have all of those 5 value cards that draw you cards, so that's some draw engine, but except of that, you don't have card draw, and yeah, you will vroom attack, so 1 card, 1 damage every turn. But it's not like it is that oppressive against some fighters. Like if you're playing Geralt even, he can just block so many of his hits or cancel so many of his attacks, because 5 value attacks are not scary and you have 3 of them. And from that point off, the only thing that hits higher is the penance there. And penance there require hellfire. So now you have to think, oh, how do I manage this? Do I vroom more so I deal more pink damage, or do I use it on my cards to get actions, to, I don't know, use the penance there to draw cards? That's the problem. He's an aggro character that can be limited so much by his own passive. But yeah, he will be dealing damage. The problem is he will just stop at some point. And that's the problem of him. I mean, he's still very satisfying, huge health bar, but this huge health bar is only because you can just blow up with your 2 value red attack, you and your opponent, and your blocks are garbage, like actual garbage. They all freeze, and even their effects are not good. Yeah, Ghost Rider is just a auto damage machine, and sometimes he will just deal you auto damage and hit you with sometimes decent numbers, but it's not as oppressive as with all of those other fighters that have actually good tools to, aggro you down and lower your health. He doesn't even have card draw to keep up with his own aggro. So, like I said, I feel Ghost Rider is a fun aggro, but he's just limited by his own ability and his own card draw. He's like Angel, or I would even say he's like Bloody Mary, which is a bit too much, but okay. But he can just run out of aggro and then he just dies. But yeah, still aggro. Pink damage is definitely way to do this, and all of those characters that have low health will be just suffering against him. It's not like they cannot survive this, but yeah. Luke Cage is big hits, better than Willow for sure. He has cool passive, low health but cool passive that allows him to block everything for 2, like passively, which makes him very tanky but not that tanky, so he cannot like play control because of that, because the only control cards in his deck are just Still Standing, Trash Talk, maybe Power Man, and that's all. Rest of his deck are just big hits and big hits only. He has like 5 sixes, or even more. 2 Merry Christmas, 2 Sweet Christmas, 2 Daughter of the Dragon, and 3 Hero for Hire, which can go up to 6. So yeah, 7 sixes. And from now on you got 5s and 4s, which is still great. So yeah, he is relying on smacking with those sixes, with those highs, throwing cards to get more of those smacky cards, and then just smack the opponent to death and keep stopping him from aggroing him down. He has great auto aggro tool with his 2 passive defense and trash talk everything. But yeah, your main objective is to smack them with 6s and 5s. That's the game plan. Moon Knight is probably the best mid-range that we discussed so far. He is able to... his stats are already pretty good. Free movement, a lot of free value and 4 value cards, a lot of versatiles, and 3 different personalities which translate into 3 different abilities. Moon Knight gives you on his own the form. Moon Knight gives you additional movement which allows you to chain it up with some combo things. Like for example, you can use your ability to jump out to opponent by 2 spaces, then you're playing the I'm not real, and then you're smacking with Kanshu for like 8, and that's pretty fun. Kanshu on his own is busted, stupidly busted. He just smacks so high that he can go into big hits, combo and aggression alone. It's up to you what you are choosing. Also, because he's adding +2, also he has the... he's not able to be hurt by anything else by combat but combat damage. So what it means, you get great, you can play into fatigue a little or into control a little. Very good. And that's only Kanshu. Then you are switching into Mr. Knight, who has +1 to all defenses. How strong is that? I am not able to explain to you, because a lot of your cards are just 2, 3s and 4s, but 4s you are using on Kanshu to hit. But yeah, all of those 3s are now turning into 4s. All of those 2 value feints are turning into 3 value feints. And you have 15 health. You also have healing and you also have movement that gives you action. You are doing like whatever you want. You are just having fun adapting to in every turn. I know the cycle of those forms is forced, except I'm not real, but if you know how to play, you can adapt to the form you are using currently, and you can adapt to opponents like cards that he's playing. And I don't know, you are just have everything except probably card draw, but good enough for us is like it says, good enough for us. And a lot of times you will be playing like, okay, Moon Knight, I draw cards, Mr. Knight, I draw cards, Kanshu, I smack you and you die. And that's a big hit like scenario, and he's probably one of the best if we are counting. Maybe lower than Achilles. But yeah, mid-range is the way he can just adapt to every other character, and many times he's a good answer against everyone. That's how comfort picky he is. Daredevil is fatigue fighter. You got infinite deck, a lot of health. I mean, they can cancel your infinite deck because they can cancel Devil of Hell's Kitchen, but you can recure it with Briefer. So yeah, Devil of Hell's Kitchen allows you to get 4 cards from your discard pile, Devil included, into your deck, which means you will be on this cycle of getting 5 cards to the deck, getting 5 cards into the deck. And if you are playing against fighters that are not having cancels, like Yennenga and Wukong, you have infinite deck and you are having fun. But yeah, because you have infinite deck, you are also a fatigue fighter. What can I say? You don't. I will not even tell you that. Yeah, you get schemes that return cards from a deck. Nah, it doesn't matter. You don't care about schemes and or anything because you can just recur everything from discard pile into your deck, and yeah, it speaks fatigue fighter for itself. And also that's weird because his ability is like it's telling you you are not a fatigue fighter, but the most efficient way is to play a fatigue fighter because blind boosting your cards when you have two cards in your hand, you can just play Bloody Mary or Willow and beat Daredevil, but better. Elektra is also a fatigue fighter. She gets to live 2 times. She has tons of sidekicks, so before you kill them, she will probably draw her whole first deck and then die out of fatigue and then resurrect and do a combo on you. And even if she will not do combo on you, she is already like in advance when it comes to fatigue, and you are just not able to keep up with her unless you are playing someone like Daredevil that basically recycle his own deck, his whole deck. Then you are in trouble. Even Sherlock, I would say, has a problem against her. But yeah, she also might be in OTK. But nowadays, I feel like her OTK is very predictable, is very easy to counter, and you have the best shot into her by just fatigue her. I mean, not while you are playing her. Your best shot is to just playing fatigue playstyle, and yeah, that's the way of playing her, and that's why she's busted. She can just if she will not combo you, she can just win by just fatigue you and drawing cards over and over, sometimes hitting you to just not even sometimes you can hit how many you want, but you are pretty safe. Snake Root Clan card is stupid. It allows you to just run away using your ninja as your block. Sai, 4 value versatile, it's just great because 4 value versatile. Intercept on your second phase is just busted, 5 value block. Why? Ninjutsu, yeah, you will take some damage, but you get to warp to the other side of the board and you can use it offensively. Hence, the Feast card can just combo you to death. So it's also a combo character. Yeah, she is higher than Sherlock when it comes to fatigue, that's for sure. But yeah, only because she gets to live 2 times. And yeah, she has like 16 health, split it into 2 phases. Just because of that, and she has smaller deck, but doesn't matter. Just because of that, she is just a fatigue queen. And I don't know, even if you're playing Black Panther and you will steal her cards, it still doesn't matter. She can just kill you. I don't know. Yeah, but for sure fatigue. Fatigue is your main win condition nowadays. Maybe in the future it will be more of combo, which in this case she's higher than Dracula still, but fatigue is definitely more safe and more deadly. Bullseye is combo fighter. Like I already explained, give the example of him at the beginning of the video. He is just hitting you from, very far with his attack cards and sometimes like combine it with actions for my next trick. So you are losing more cards and he's happy because of that, because he gets to hit you more and not really hit you more but hit more. And he draw a lot of cards with his study the target, which makes him pretty good as a aggro fighter because he will never run out of fuel, like for example Ghost Rider or Angel. He will just kill, or Raptors, he will just always have something in the bag to just throw at you. The problem is he doesn't really have that many action gains, only 3. Those 3 action gains are very deadly, but it only happens 3 times, and if you will combo it into one big turn, it's deadly, but then later it will be harder for you to win the game, unfortunately, because now you don't rely on action gain and you just rely on pure aggro. And surprisingly, a lot of those fighters are just, because they are aggro, they are also glass cannons. Raptors are a glass cannon, Robin glass cannon, Angel glass cannon, Ghost Rider glass cannon, Bullseye glass cannon. What I mean by that, they can block for only for free. The highest blocks they are able to block is 3. In some exceptions, like Ghost Rider can use Control the Demon to block for 5, but it's better on offense. And Raptors have this one for value versatile, but yeah, it doesn't matter. You want to use this on offense. So yeah, he is also a glass cannon, and that's a problem if you're playing these types of characters, because yeah, you have huge aggro, but also you are dying very fast. But yeah, good card draw, good damage, good combo, but not a lot of action gain, but still combo. Sattler is control, and not that good control, unfortunately. She can heal a lot. She is one of the most tanky characters in the game. The whole game plan is to get as many cards as possible and hope that you will be able to hit the opponent with the... I think we're back in business. This card. So yeah, you also rely on healing yourself with your woman inherits the earth. You don't have like high value blocks. The highest block you have is the this one that turns into 4 if the opponent is a hero. So yeah, you can block for ages. You also have fine auto damage with violent if necessary. This 3 value versatile that deals 2 damage on insight on adjacent to insight tokens. You got the back in business. Not back in business. This 2 value block that deals damage. You know what I'm talking about. So you see the pattern. You are healing constantly with your insight tokens, and you are just forcing opponent to come close to you and hit you to deal him auto damage. So we are doing this little Sherlock game, but it's actually worse. You also are able to hit the opponent with the you never have a control. That's an illusion. That can be 7, but you're sacrificing your insight tokens, so you are not able to heal now, and you have to maneuver more. Malcolm is very crucial to you. If he will die early, your control game is like so much worse, like half times worse. Because now he will be not producing all of those insight tokens, and only you will be producing the insight tokens, and now you will not be able to heal every like second, third turn. Now you'll be able to heal every 5 turn. So that's or 4th turn. It's very bad. Yeah, she is here because of she can be good into all of those aggro and combo fighters, or sometimes OTKs, because she will heal the whole OTK. That's a nightmare. So yeah, she will be good against them because she will be like pushing them away or just countering their aggro. While all of those guys, they are, dealing with aggro by just doing some fancy things. Blocks, sometimes they'll do some other things like splitting damage between sidekicks, punishing them with pings, blocking with traps, putting them on insight tokens, risking them on insight tokens, threatening them on insight tokens, more of that. Or just, blocking yourself with sidekicks. Here, you are just blocking damage and you're blocking damage more and auto-damaging them. That's your whole game plan, and it's fun. It's because your objective is basically just survive, and this could be fun. I actually like her, but it's not the good control. I would rather pick Wukong or Yennenga or Medusa over her if I would just go for serious play. T-Rex is the best aggro. Now, currently, I think Bloody Mary should be higher. Yeah, T-Rex is probably the best aggro that we discussed so far. She can just go and hit you with high values, and she draw card basically at the end of every turn. So you have so many tools to deal with the opponent. It's crazy. The problem is you have to get to them and you remove one fighter, so it will be a problem and a challenge, but you got some cards that discard their cards, which is huge when you're playing an aggro character because you want their hand size to be low, so you are happy. You get some action gains. You can go even for combo as T-Rex with when dinosaurs rule the earth. This 2-value attack card. So she could even be a combo, but I would say you're fine with just going in and smacking with fives, mainly with fives. Boost dinosaurs with even to 6, deal a lot of auto damage. Like, you have ton of tools that every character in aggro category would be like so envy of you, but your movement is limiting you so much. You also have huge health bar, but it doesn't matter because you are hurting yourself by playing your cards, but you doesn't care because you just want to kill them faster. And actually, this is weird, but I think all of those control characters are countering her. Maybe except Wukong, but all of them are just winning except Wukong against her. And that's why control... It shows you that control is actually good against aggro. Because all of those fighters will be struggling against all of those fighters. Maybe except Spike, but yeah. So yeah, very good aggro, very good aggro. Houdini is the best OTK, and probably will be the best OTK in the game. And you can just do this whole set the stage and the 2-value attack that can be boosted 2 times and then get the card back. You can boost with the misdirections. I mean his feint that deals 2 damage when you boost with this. So, and you have a lot of boost values that are 3 or 4. I mean this one card, this one scheme that has 4 boost value. So you can just go, I don't know, sky is the limit how you want to do this OTK, but yeah, you will just OTK them. You will just look at their hand, discard one of their feint or high block if they doesn't have feint, and then just bang them with this one OTK thing, and then you get to do this again, and if they are still alive, okay. And if they are still alive after the second OTK, you can just finish them with misdirections like that, and yeah, very fun. Genie is also the OTK, probably the second best OTK in the game. what can I say? If you know how to use your free wishes in the turn when you have 2 free wishes, you discard 2 of their cards, then you set your values to 4, and then you go. Your wish is my command. Even you give yourself another action gain with your action with your ability, and then you discard their cards with sultans. Yeah, with sultans. You can do this even 2 times, and I 4 value attacks at this point at them will be so deadly that they will just die. The thing is, you actually doing the OTK with Genie, because if you know how to play him, you will just finish them with this one turn. And then if you didn't kill them, you have a problem, because yeah, you have another 3 wishes, but how you even do some crazy combo with this? But also, if they survived your OTK, they probably don't have cards in hand, so you can just keep pressuring them with your force, and they will die. Yeah, OTK at its finest. 3 wishes, sultans, and your wish is my command is just so fun that. Yeah. And also, he has very great tool to draw cards to get to get his OTK. This one value block that draws you cards of how many damage you took, that many cards you draw. So yeah, very good. Yeah, I actually love Genie. He's so good at OTK. He should probably be higher than Houdini, but Houdini's OTK is just illegal sometimes, because he can do it like in first turn, second turn, and if he has a proper hand, and your opponent will just die, and the Genie has to prepare for it. So that might be surprising, but I just finished editing the whole video, and I realized it took me like 2 hours to speak about like half of the roster, and I decided to split this into 2 halves, and I will try my best to do the second one as soon as possible, but currently I think this 2 hours is enough. And if you want to see more, I assure you that it will be soon released. Well, that's a lot of content. 2 hours. Like, man, that's a lot. Well, I hope you enjoyed. And yep, I have a lot of ideas in my mind about some other tier list, about some other videos. Maybe the closest that comes to my mind is the skirmish ranking, because I love this card, it's so awesome. Maybe momentous shifts ranking, or some videos analyzing certain fighters or certain cards. Yep. I am so excited about this, but when it comes to this video, I think I will finish it right here. And we will see when the second part will come out. I hope it will be soon. But damn, that's cool. I hope you enjoyed. And yep, see you soon.